So today I'm going to be showing you how to paint a little stuffed bunny, and I've talked to Shanna and she's okay with having everyone submit a picture of the rock that they have painted, and you'll be in a drawing to whoever wins gets the bunny rock. Okay, and for starts we've got our rock in several colors that we're going to mix. And I'm going to go ahead and get drawn out first. That way we know where we're headed. First off, you're going to need to make basically little guidelines. They don't need to be dark. They just need to be where you can see where to put the body. And it's going to be separating the rock into thirds. And then at the top of the rock, you're going to have your head. And he is going to have a kind of softened flat top and a rounded face. And you want to leave some extra room at the top, that way you can put his bunny ears slightly above him. And it's okay if you go slightly over the bottom, as long as you don't go completely over the bottom. All right, and after you've got his head, you want to make his body. And I start out with the fat belly side, and I come all the way to slightly below the third. And then we know that his arm is going to be taking over part of his body. So we're going to go ahead and do the arm, and that is how you're going to finish the body, is by adding that line and curling it out into a cute little paw. And then you go and you round out his shoulder so that you have something like that. And then you'll want to put his feet. I like the way that they just kind of point in towards each other. So you put two little feet like so. And I actually have his little feet crossing over each other. And for his other hand, you're wanting to put it over his mouth so that he's kind of like giggling. So it's just a little oblong shape. And also I'm terrible with mouths, so this kind of makes it a little easier to not have to do the part I don't like. Okay, and then right above his hand, because you're going to erase where the arm crossed over, right above his hand you want to put his little nose. It don't have to be perfect, but this one, because I made his arm so big, is going to have a little nose. And his eyes are going to be this little crescent shape right above the nose, and little eyes. Okay. Now, for his ears, we want big and fluffy. So, start out and you go really far above it. Well, not really far above his head. Go a little bit above his head, and you come down to just about below his waist. And then, because I didn't judge it completely right, I'm going to have a little bit ear on the side. So, that's okay. And just below his paw. I like to kind of try and make the ears even on each side. So you've got that side and this side. There we go. Now, we have most of the drawing done. We'll actually go ahead and touch up his arm. I don't like how big it is. All right. I went ahead and changed his arm just a little bit. The paint will cover up the erase lines. Hello. I want to go ahead and make where I can see. Okay. Now for the colors, we are going to have to mix some. We have different shades, so everybody's little bunny should come out looking special and different than the others. I'm going to go ahead and start out with the main part of the body, which is going to be a lighter brown. You can go as light or as dark as you want, as long as it's not full strength, because you want to be able to see the dark brown. Get you just a little bit of brown, and I'm going to do a little bit of the yellow to make it creamier. You can do just a cream body with the white and the yellow. And I feel like I put too much. It actually doesn't take that much to paint, so here's hoping it all comes out right. And then you take the end of your paintbrush and you mix it up. Actually, okay, I want mine just a little bit lighter, so I'm going to add just a hair more white. That's the one. Okay, so I like that color brown. I'm going to stick with it. Go ahead and clean off your paintbrush. And I'm going to go ahead and get the color for his ears and his nose mixed up just to make it easier. Take a little, this probably won't take much at all, just a little dot of the red, unless you want a red nose. And I'm going to do pink, so I'm going to take a little bit of the white also. And there's my husband. Okay, that is coming out quite a bit pinker, but it actually is a pretty color, so I'm going to stick with it. All right. And because acrylic is easy to clean up, if you get on your table, go ahead and wipe it up while it's wet and then dry it. Okay. All right, so I have my main colors. Okay, so for the main body, we're going to go ahead and do this nice little lighter brown color. And I paint right up next to the line where I can barely just see the line. And let's see, that way I've still got the outline and the darker brown will cover it, but it doesn't stand out as being that far separate. Okay. And you're going to want to paint the entire belly. all of the arms and legs, and you need to dodge the parts on the face, and I totally forgot the inside of the ear. Okay, on one ear we want to make just basically even following the outline to where it's a big loop just inside, and that way you can color that part pink. Right. And then also on the ear, you'll want to paint the part that is just close to the outside. And it doesn't have to be perfect because your dark brown is going to outline it and take away any flaws you might have. And then the other ears, paint it completely. Okay, now we're down to the difficult part, dodging the parts on the face. If you see little light spots, you can go in once they've dried and just add another little coat. That way it evens it out. Okay, now since I've got them completely painted and you see just a hair of the outline, it's time to switch colors. Go ahead and rinse out your pointy brush because this one's going to be small details. I have a tendency to stick to the detail brush for the whole thing, but you don't have to. Okay, now his nose and his ear on the inside are going to be what's pink. And With the pink, since you have all that brown around, it doesn't matter if you go over the lines a little bit, because that's the definite stopping point anyways. See a spot I missed on the brown, so I'll just touch that up real quick. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do his eyes. You can do them blue or black, or if you happen to have blue. And wow, this thing, I'm not even going to pour any out because there's plenty on top of this. The black's the same as the pink. Go ahead and get it right up next to the brown. And you want to try to make the eyes as even as possible. But nothing's ever perfect, so. All right. Actually, that's my eye come out pretty far off, so when you make mistakes like that, see how bad the eyes are? They're not nearly even at all. You go ahead and rinse your paintbrush. I'm just going to use the brown to even them back up. Truthfully, this can go back and forth as many times as you need to. You can go back and forth between the black and the brown until it's as even as you would like them. Okay, I like that a little better. Okay. Okay, we are down to the finishing touches, which is going to be outlining everything and making it look smooth. And you just barely put your tip of your paintbrush into it. You don't want it real thick. And then you outline everything that you left off in the pencil. Just barely putting the tip in there. Okay, his eye just went really bad. I'm to the point where I'm going to start over with his eyes. So basically I erase it by covering it with the brown. While that dries, I'm going to go ahead and finish my outlines. And truthfully, when you're doing painting, it don't always come out perfect the first time. And sometimes it looks terrible until you get to the finishing touches. Okay. And you'll want to outline both the pink and the brown. So once I finish the brown part of his ear, I'm going to go inside and do the pink. Okay, last ear. Okay. Now his face is not dry where I messed up and decided to redo it. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the stitch work where, let's see, you see where he needs stitches on his belly and his ears and his arms. I'll go ahead and start on that, also in the dark brown. And let's start at the top and then come down. There we go. And then little stitches the whole way down. Just paste them every little bit and do light little brush strokes. Okay, and then his belly, he's going to have a little curve. And then we'll have some little stitches in there. And then, see his leg and his arms, I just have a line. Okay, so far. And then all the way on the pink and the brown, it's going to be stitched together there. Right Apparently dipped it too much into the paint. Okay, and now his face is dry, so he's ready for some eyes. And seeing how his little nose is brown anyway, so I'll go ahead and put the line on there. Okay. Go ahead and get there we go. I only need one little drop for the black. Okay. All right, here we go again. Okay. And now to give him some little eyebrows. And that is our finished little bunny. Um, okay. And now for any of the guys that want to do a rock for their girlfriend, it's always nice to give them a diamond. So I've got a cute little rock for that. And we've got the yellow that we used earlier for mixing. Alright, I'm going to use a little bit of the white. I'm going to go ahead and get it drawn out. And it's basically just like Superman. Got a straight line on top, two angled sides, and then come down into a big V. And then you put a line right across from one of the sides. Well, there we go. And you'll want to turn these into little triangles. See how you take the triangle off the corner and then just follow it out from there. Doing them all as evenly as possible. And then from every point where it touches, you go straight down to the bottom. And then you're going to take the white. No, let's do it in yellow. And then we'll use white as an outline. You take and just fill in the centers. Once again, dodging the paint or the pencil. far. Good. Now I've finished that. And I'm going to do the outline in white, kind of to make it sparkle. All right. And then, guys, when y'all finish this, you can give either your mom or your girlfriend a nice yellow diamond. Okay. And then you've got a nice sparkly diamond. And then we'll go ahead and put about 3 little lines off the corner just to show how sparkly it is. There we go. All right. And I hope you enjoyed painting rocks with me. And can't wait to see y'all's. Yeah, I messed up the eyes, and then because I messed up the eyes and was getting flustered on the camera, I went ahead and I forgot to put the little dots for the gleams in the eyes.
That's okay.
So I was like,
They can put their own little dots.
well.
All right, so did you press done recording?
I did. So.
Look, those are cute.
Yeah, his eyes started screwing up.
But they look, even though it doesn't have the gleams, I still think it's cute.
Yeah. end up having to paint over it with it. I'm like, and when you mess up, just go ahead and paint over it, wait on it to dry and start over.
Yep. I think it's cute.
Oh, but
It's a cute
diamonds for
little-
girlfriends and moms.
That's right. It's a cute little thing. All right. So what I want to do.
I